You've asked me so many times about alternative products that you can use to make these voodoo dolls. So I'm going to very quickly share with you a few other ways that you can make these voodoo dolls and not use my favorite ingredient, and that is modeling clay. And like I've done in other spells, the wax, soft wax. You've seen me use the soft wax in the voodoo dolls where I'll open the stomach cavity and then I'll put in the personal concerns. If I'm blood or whatever I'm using, I'll put that in the cavity and then I'll seal it back up. But maybe you don't want to use wax or clay or plasticine. Okay, or maybe it's not available to you. So what can you do? Or maybe you want to try something more traditional. I know so many of you have written in about you like sewing and you like making the more traditional poppets. Now, I don't ever make poppets. It's more of a Hispanic way. I know in Mexico they like to make the corn husk dolls. In South America they're quite popular. I don't use it that way because remember, I'm putting things inside the doll. So it's not going to stay inside for very long if you're using corn husk. So I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I don't do it for that reason. So a really cheap way of making really cute dolls as well, because that matters, when you're new to the craft, you want to do something that's fun and looks good. Let me just share with you, I went to a local Lind craft. I'm still here in Sydney, Australia, working with some different people from the Coven, and so I'm still here in Sydney, and I went to a Lind craft store. So this is just like the normal I don't know, fabric shop if you like, and sells a few extra things. And what I found there, really cheap, is a baby blanket, okay, which I've already cut out. But yeah, I found this baby blanket, and it's, it's not an expensive fabric, but, it was $4.95. When I compare that to, if I was to go to buy some fabric, if I was buying fabric, it would cost me here in Australia anything like of this type of fabric around $12 to maybe $20 a meter. So it just makes sense to just go and get the baby blanket because we're going to cut it up anyway, right? And you get the same amount of fabric, if not more. So all I didn't even have a pattern because if you want a pattern, actually I have one on the website, blackwitchcoven.com, but you know the shape of let's say, gingerbread man, right? And so I literally just cut a shape of a gingerbread man out, right? I made it a little bit chunky. You don't want it in a perfect shape because remember, you're going to stuff it. You're going to sew it like a blanket stitch. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So long as it's going to be together so you can stuff it with some things. And so you're going to create two of these because again I'm creating a love spell for tonight. So I've got two little cut out baby blanket, can you see that, dolls here. So that is one type of fabric, really cheap, really easy to do. Remember, just getting a little what I'll do, I'll stitch all around the head area, around the little arms, around the body, stating my intention as I'm stitching. I'm not just stitching away. I'm actually, with every stitch, I'm saying my intention, and this is for a client, so I'll be stating my intention as I stitch, the desire, the outcome, so I'll be doing all of that. Then I will leave a gap. Okay, you always leave a gap anyway. If you've sewn anything in your life, you'll know what I mean. You leave a gap that would be large enough for you to put in some stuffing. Now, another cheap way to get stuffing and not actually buy stuffing, especially here in Australia, is just go get a cushion insert, right? And use the stuffing from the cushion. It's just the same thing. I think this was like $3. But if you're buying the proper stuff, they wanted like $20 for the same stuff. I mean, it's just silly. But so you don't have to go out and buy the best stuff because it's not the stuff that matters, it's the intention, remember? But you might want this to look really pretty, especially if this is for yourself. or if you're making this doll as an image of yourself to use it as a helper puppet, maybe you want to do that, a helper voodoo doll, a helper doll baby. So you've got your little voodoo doll, and then inside that you'd be pushing in your personal concerns, and of course you'll be sewing on here little things that you might like to make it look or resemble more like that person. Sometimes with little dolls like this, if I make them and it's for a client, I might print out, because all my clients send me pictures of themselves and of the target, of the person they want to be with, and I'll print that out color printer and I will put that on the face. Okay, so it actually is an image of them that I'm working at, because I don't know them before, like I've met them on the internet and we've had a couple of email correspondence or maybe a phone call, and now I've just got this to work with. Okay, so any questions you can ask me, and remember I probably respond a little bit better if you go to the blackwitchcoven.com website, because my personal assistant will filter those emails and send me the ones so I can answer your questions. Here is another, so I think I answered that for you. Oh, really cute. I got this for Christmas. A voodoo doll spell kit. It's actually really, really cute. You can see it's pre-made. I'll just pull it out of the box. These are great and they're lots of fun. Look at that. How cute is that? It's already got the different places to put some pins in there, and a really fun little book that this person, this Voodoo Doll fun book, and it's written actually quite well. So it's lots of fun, but the best result is going to be when you make the doll yourself, because the intention's in there, don't forget. Now, another way that you can make this doll, especially if you're on a budget, I know so many of you have said that you don't have a lot of money and but you still want to bring love into your life. You could be in countries that it's more difficult for you to get ingredients and keep the ingredients around home, because you're living at home with other people and you don't want them to know what you're doing. So here's an ingredient that I've used in the past when I've been traveling and really stuck, like I haven't had a Lindcraft shop to go and buy stuff at, or I haven't been back in Las Vegas or LA for me to go and to the local occult shop and buy stuff. So here's what you can use: the good old potato. So potatoes are really awesome it's just basically carving. And I'm not going to tell you to be careful, because if you don't know how to cut a potato by now without cutting yourself, well, you're stupid. But anyway, little person, another little person, carving them out. And of course, if you're using it to stuff, okay, you can cut out a cavity, put the stuff in there, seal it back up again. And of course, as in the other videos with the love spells binding, you're going to you'd put the two tummies together, and then you tie them up. Once, of course, you've cut them out, so they look like little people, and they're really cute actually. And then you can wrap them up with your red cord and do your work on that. So there's no excuses for you not to find a creative way to do puppets, voodoo dolls, doll babies, because there is no right or wrong ingredient. It's just the ingredient that is convenient for you to have access to. And remember, it's always the power of intention. And if you truly want it, then that intention is going to go out there to the universe, and you're going to be able to achieve that result. Let me know what you think.